Solanke is a big lump. You spent how much on him?
That's an insane thing to say.
He's useless. You spent 60 million on him.
He's not useless at all.
He's like a Bournemouth striker.
That's it. This summer in the Premier League, top tier strikers are going to be a priority for many top teams. I'm thinking the likes of Arsenal, Manchester United and Chelsea in particular. They'll want an absolute elite striker who's going to get them lots of goals and be fantastic in their overall play. And I believe that Tottenham already have this player in the shape of Dominic Solanke. I'd even argue that he's probably one of the top 5 strikers in the Premier League currently. So today on the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel, I'm going to be arguing this point and also suggesting that Dominic Solanke is one of Spurs' most important players. But if you are new to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel, then drop us a like, subscribe and hit that notification bell, and also leave your comments down below. Do you agree or disagree with me? So this is quite an interesting debate about Dominic Solanke and about Premier League strikers, because a lot of people are saying this current era of Premier League strikers is not the best. It's pretty much Erling Haaland, Alexander Isak, and then a load of other strikers who sort of make up that other middling order. But I think based on what we've seen from Dominic Solanke over the last couple of years, he is an elite finisher and a fantastic striker in the Premier League. And I think a lot of top clubs would have wished that they'd signed him last summer for the fee that we ended up paying. And I'm going to argue it because it is quite controversial, and especially that he's injured. But the reason I'm arguing it now is he's due to return to Spurs very, very soon. And I think we have missed him more than maybe Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero. And this debate happened on the most recent episode of talkSPORT's Inside Spurs show, and I was on it alongside Abbi and former Spurs defender Sebastian Bassong. We were debating Mathys and also Dominic Solanke, and I suggested that we've missed him a lot. But before I go any further, I have an announcement. Over 78% of you are not subscribed to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel. I obviously appreciate all the support you give on the videos in a turbulent season for Tottenham Hotspur. I love making videos on this beloved football club, but get down below and subscribe to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel and hit that notification bell as well, because it'll let you know when I've gone live in instances such as reacting to the AZ Alkmaar game coming up on Thursday. But yeah, let's get on with the video.
Well, let's talk about someone we are still missing, which is Solanke. I felt last night that was such a clear indication. I mean, we'll give Mathys the time, obviously. You know, there was a lot of hype over him coming in, but he still is 19 years old. There was a few chances he couldn't really convert. But Dominic Solanke should be back for Europe. And I feel like just as an overall player, in terms of the way that he holds the ball up and also invites other people into spaces, it was so clear how much we were missing him last night.
I just think with Solanke, everyone says we miss Van der Ven and Romero. I think maybe he's the bigger miss because he just offers something that our current forward line don't. It's just that willingness to drop deep like Harry Kane did. And you see like all these Twitter fans, and usually they're rivals and neutrals, who say, oh, Solanke hasn't scored enough goals. It's just he's off the ball work. Mm-hmm. He's, as I say, dropping deep, distributing, linking up the play. He's still one of the best strikers, I think, in the Premier League at doing that.
Doesn't get the appreciation I feel like he should do. Maybe people talk more about a Watkins or someone like that. But Solanke, I think he's been so important to us.
100%.
That's not always about goals, is it?
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like he made Maddison a better player. He made Son a better player. He made Johnson a better player. I just think he's also that personality, and he's just got that sort of drive, and he's had a career a bit like Spence. I was comparing the two, that they've just, they've had to work hard to get into these positions. Didn't work out at Chelsea, didn't work out at Liverpool. I think we've really missed him, and if we have him back for those Europa League games, it just gives us a better chance, because Mathys, I think he's got potential. It's just it reminds me of when we've signed like Brian Hill. It's just like he's not fully...
He's got to adapt to the Premier League.
Yeah, he hasn't adapted yet. And there's a lot of good things there. He's dribbling and stuff like that. And, he's shown it at Bayern the last couple of seasons, and that's why they plucked him out when they signed him. So I am hopeful. It's just at the moment, I'm not sure if Daniel Levy will want to put the money down for that sort of signing.
No, Mathys. It's funny. How do you say Matthias?
Mathys, right?
Mathys. But yeah, Solanke, for me, I rate him. I rate the player, because I would have I would have loved playing with him because he's a focal point, but he can do a lot on the ball and off the ball. As you said, he doesn't get enough credit for the space that he's creating for other players. Because when he's dropping deep, he's technically good. He can hold the ball, which for a centre forward, for me, it's so important. When you're under pressure, you can make a run, hold the ball.
Go long. We haven't done that recently, have
But the run that he makes, that's different than Mathys, because Mathys tells is a different type of player. You can't expect the same work rate and the same outcome from Mathys and Dominic Solanke. And that's why I think it's been difficult for Mathys yesterday, because it's the Prem. Even though you might come with all the energy,
there was big energy,
big energy. You want to come, you want to do well. Listen, it's a different level, it's a different atmosphere. And a City side against like Kusanov and Ruben Dias. So I think it was hard for him to find his feet. That's why, when, as you said, I agree with you. When Dominic Solanke is going to come back, he's going to offer more certainty in terms of we can hit him. And you're talking about a long ball. There's a difference between lumping the ball forward and playing a good long ball.
Yeah.
When you play a good long ball, that's an amazing pass. So I think that's what Pedro Porro, for example, has. He can drive the ball along and onto his Dominic Solanke's chest. He can hold the ball
and lay it off to someone else.
And
like
then get his runners.
Well, exactly like he did against Liverpool. I think with Mathys Tel, that's just maybe he's a player that would. Obviously, if Solanke was fit, he would be coming on for maybe the last 20 minutes of games. You'd see the impact with him, because we know he's got a great finish on him. We saw that against Aston Villa. But I think I felt against Manchester United a couple of weeks ago, he was final third play, just needs a little bit more crispness maybe. But that is, again, adapting to a new league. I think the expectation of him, where lots of different clubs wanted him, and he's obviously given it the big un type of thing, you kind of come into it thinking, okay, he's going to hit the ground running. But it's the Prem. Like, it's hard to be a striker in general, right? And to hit the ground running and make a name for yourself in the Premier League is difficult work.
It's difficult, especially when your team is not going through the best momentum as ever. So when you come into a team that's already working, you ain't got no pressure.
Yeah.
You come in, you might even start again, but things gonna work. Now it's kind of it's psychological. He thinks that things rely on him. It's come down to him. I gotta make the difference. I think that as soon as a player think that he's gonna make the difference, the pressure is on top of him. And you overdo things, it's not natural. So you're forcing things. You want to do another dribble, another touch. Whereas that's when other players are on top, things flow.
And I'm not the only one who has thought this. Ange Postecoglou agrees, because he has been that important to the club beforehand.
Yeah, absolutely. Dom and Richie. And look, Matty's working his really hard, but we're asking for him to do a massive job for us at this level, and he's probably one that did probably need a rest, and probably does need a rest, because he's come in and has played every game. So it'll be good to get Dom back in there. When he was playing for us, he was hard to stop, and like I said, you can see the benefit of them having Erling in their side. So hopefully Dom's not too far away.
The reason I argue about his importance is because I think it's been glaringly obvious how much we have missed Dominic Solanke over the last few weeks, because he was a vital cog in this Tottenham side. You got to think, we signed this player for 65 million from Bournemouth last summer. He came in as one of the main starters in this team. He was going to, make an impact to the starting lineup. The other signings that we made were ones for the future, even though Archie Gray has played nearly, a max amount of minutes. But Dominic Solanke was going to be that eventual Harry Kane replacement. We paid a lot of money for him, but I actually think the fee makes sense. He was an English striker who scored 19 Premier League goals last term. And I actually think his return, if you look at the stats on screen right now, are pretty good, considering he's been injured twice and still played a key role in games, in changing them around, in cup competitions, in proving he can be in those clutch moments. And the fact we haven't had him in those cup competitions has been a vital miss. And I think Mathys Tel has got the potential to be a good striker in the future, but he hasn't got the qualities of a mature Dominic Solanke, who's now 27 and at the peak of his power. I think Dominic Solanke has shown over the last few years that he can play at this top level. He deserved his move to Tottenham, and his overall play is something that you have to admire. He presses well, which is perfect for an Ange Postecoglou team. He makes clever runs. He's, unselfish in the attack. He linked up the play. He improved the likes of Mathys. He improved the likes of Son, and he improved the likes of Brennan Johnson. I don't think you can, it's an understatement to say, and a lot of fans who argue that Dominic Solanke has been a waste of money, has not proven it, has only scored 7 or so Premier League goals. I think that's a myth. It's people who haven't watched Tottenham say this. And I played the clip at the beginning of the overlap where Adam McCullough was arguing it with Flav. And I think they are so wrong in this argument. I think he was absolutely clueless. And I think Manchester United would love to have a player like Dominic Solanke over Rasmus Hojlund and Joshua Zirkzee. And, there's a big striker shortage, you could say, at the moment. Like top tier strikers available. I'm thinking, who's going to be going in the summer? Viktor Gyokeres from Sporting, Benjamin Sesko maybe from RB Leipzig. And apart from that, there's not many others. You could argue maybe Liam Delap, but is he the finished product? I'm not so sure. I mean, Alexander Isak's going to cost an arm of a leg to get out of Newcastle United. And when you actually stack up the players in the Premier League who are defined as the better strikers in the Premier League, I think Dominic Solanke actually is a lot better than them. I think Dominic Solanke's got more heat than the likes of Ollie Watkins. Chris Wood is seeing himself in a purple patch. It'd be interesting to see if he can continue that. But we know that Chris Wood is obviously older in his career and development. And apart from that, I think you look at the other list of Premier League strikers. I mean, I pose this question to you guys now. Arsenal fans and also Tottenham fans, would you swap Dominic Solanke for Kai Havertz? Because as a Spurs fan, I certainly wouldn't. I think, Arsenal fans are a bit deluded when they come to Kai Havertz. I think Kai Havertz, he has got assets to his play that are quite good, but you ask any Chelsea fan about Kai Havertz and they'll tell you straight. I think Kai Havertz has improved since Chelsea and Arsenal, but if you're asking for someone who's an out-and-out striker, he's not that. They signed him as an 8 to replace Granit Xhaka. He hasn't done that. And I think Dominic Solanke offers everything that Kai Havertz does and even more. He's stronger. He's more physical. He's quicker. He's better at finishing. He's, strikes the ball better. Kai Havertz, I can't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. You're going to have to let me know in the comments down below. Because I just think Dominic Solanke has been one of the best players for us this season. And that is taken into consideration, he's been injured for a lot of it. And, this is his first campaign and we haven't been that good this season. But I think Dominic Solanke, you can see there's been a missing piece and a glaring issue at the top of the field for Tottenham. And I think it comes down to this. Dominic Solanke will get back into this team and he will score goals. I can just see it. And we need him for a good, Europa League campaign to really, try and win that competition. I think Dominic Solanke is an elite footballer. I think if I was to go bold, Erling Haaland, Alexander Isak, Dominic Solanke in that order. And I think if you even look at some of the interviews Dominic Solanke's done recently and talking about his career and how he got to Tottenham, he's just such a good character to have in the dressing room as well. But you guys are going to have to let me know in the comments down below. Is Dominic Solanke an elite footballer or is he not? I think he's a perfectly good footballer and I think he is one of the best or better options in the Premier League. And I think a lot of teams would have snapped your hand off for him in the summer last year, but we luckily got in there first. And I think under any manager, he could be good for Tottenham Hotspur. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as I say, leave your likes, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because it'll let you know when I've gone live. And until then, I'll see you guys later. Ciao.